This is the second and final video for Chapter 11 dealing with distribution, customer service, and logistics. The first slide here is talking about transportation costs as a percentage of selling price for different products. And transportation, remember, is the marketing function of moving your goods from one place to another. And transportation does aid economic development and exchange. Without low-cost transportation, there would be no mass distribution as we know it today, so we have to find stuff that's affordable and effective and efficient. So as you can see here, depending upon what is that you're shipping, transportation costs can be really costly. Transportation costs are a smaller part of the selling price for products that have a higher per unit value, such as all the manufactured goods. Things that are small and lightweight, compact, that have a high resale value, such as pharmaceuticals, have that lower percentage there. Now be sure that you know this chart, at least the first three columns: the mode, the cost, and the delivery speed. Just understand that as the speed goes up, the quicker you can deliver something, the higher the price is going to be. So if you're looking at air, this delivery speed is very fast. The cost is going to be very high as well. Okay, so you have to just remember that a lot of times that delivery speed and cost are directly related, that as one goes up, the other is usually up as well, and vice versa as they go down. The best transportation alternative for shipping chickens from farms in West Virginia to processing plants in Maryland would be, it's a short distance, not a very far distance, and taking livestock, the best alternative would be to get them there quickly at an affordable cost. The storing function and marketing strategy. Storing is the marketing function of holding the goods so that they are available when they are needed. When we talk about inventory, we're referring to the amount of goods being stored, the number of them. Okay, now remember that storing is necessary when production does not evenly match consumption. In other words, if there's more of a product being made than what consumers are consuming or buying, there's going to be excess products, and that's where storing comes into play. And it can increase the value of goods by making them more available also when customers or consumers want them. So storing can smooth out sales, can increase profits, can enhance customer satisfaction, which are all really good things. Now, storing does help keep prices steady. Storing helps balance supply and demand and keeps prices from having sudden increases or decreases, rising or falling of the prices. Storing allows producers to manufacture larger quantities of a product to take advantage of the economies of scale, which we have talked about earlier in the year. Storing varies the channel system by increasing flexibility. It allows producers, wholesalers, retailers, the intermediaries there, to keep stock at convenient locations and ready to meet the customer needs and wants when they have those needs and wants. So marketers have more ways to vary the firm's marketing mix to better meet the consumer's demand based upon having flexibility with storing functions. Total inventory costs. This is Exhibit 11.6, also in your book. Storing goods can increase their value by keeping them available, but goods are stored at a cost. It's not free to store goods. So some of the costs that you have to incur is interest expense and opportunity cost of money tied up in inventory, cost of storage facilities. You have to pay to either build them yourselves or to rent them. There are handling costs, cost of damage to products while in an inventory, because that does happen as well. There's always a risk of theft. There's risk of fire happening. And also one that businesses have to keep in mind is that there's a cost of the inventory possibly becoming obsolete. People not really wanting them anymore. Specialized storing facilities. Now, please know the difference between private and public warehouses. make sure you know the difference between public and private warehouses. This is going to be something that's going to be covered, I'm sure, on the test. Private warehouses are storing facilities that are owned by the company for their own use. They own them, they use them. Firms use private warehouses when large quantities of goods have to be stored on a regular basis. The cost of the warehouse may be offset by increased control that they have over the distribution of a product. Now, there's going to be a lot of upfront costs because they have to pay for the land, they have to pay for the building, all the materials and labor and everything. So there's a lot of upfront costs, but they will have complete control over what happens at that warehouse. On the flip side of that, public warehouses are independent storing facilities that offer storing and regrouping activities that a company needs, but they are open to whoever's willing to pay the fees. There is more flexibility available when using public warehouses because there is no fixed investment involved. All right, you have to relinquish control. You have to be able to relinquish control over your product's distribution as well when using a public warehouse. But you have the flexibility that if you don't need it at a certain time, you can also just back out. Okay, you can back out at any given time as needed. And that was a quick finalizing PowerPoint of Chapter 11. All right, this brings us to the end of the chapter.